Amen. On behalf of the Trenton Board of Education, I welcome you to TV radio broadcast on Trenton Talks, a Trenton Board of Education radio broadcast. I want to thank our sponsor, WIMG 1300 AM and WPHY Verizon Channel 28. My name is Gerald True. I'm your host. I'm a board member for the Trenton Board of Education. I chair the Family and Community Engagement Committee and Support Committee and Policy Committee, with board president, my colleagues, Addie Daniels-Lane, who is also the chair of the Curriculum and Instruction Committee, our board vice president, Yolanda Madero-Lopez, chair of the Human Resources Committee, our board member, Jeannie Weeklam, who is on with us this afternoon, chair of our Facilities and Buildings and Grounds Committee, our board member, Jean Bowie, who's also chair of our Operations Committee, and board members, Teron Tice, who's a part of our Human Resources and Policy Committee, along with Denise Johnson, who's also on our Policy and our Face and School Support Committee. I'd like to also thank our superintendent, Mr. James Earl, our chief school administrator, for his leadership, for his support, and for his commitment to our school community. We have our leadership team on today with Mr. Wilfredo Ortiz, our assistant superintendent of school support, Mr. Dwayne Mosley, our chief engineer and director of facilities, as well as Denise Crease, who is our parent liaison and homeless liaison and parent coordinator. She's also serves as our co-host for our Trenton radio broadcast here on our Trenton Talks radio broadcast live on our Trenton Public Schools Facebook page. We also rebroadcast on IMG 1300 AM, our sponsor, at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and our sponsor, Verizon Channel 28, on Thursdays at 11. So you can catch us on the replay on those channels. We also replay on our YouTube channel, Trenton TV, and of course, you can catch us here live every Tuesday evening between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. We have an exciting broadcast for you today regarding redistricting. We all know, or most of us know, and if you don't, this is a great opportunity to get more information about our redistricting plan tonight. We have our special guest on tonight, our chair of our Facilities Committee, Jeannie Weeklam, and our director of facilities, Dwayne Mosley, our chief engineer. We're going to be sharing tonight also with our assistant superintendent of school support, who is heavily involved with our redistricting plan, along with our superintendent, Mr. James Earl. And we're going to have a robust conversation around facilities and our redistricting plan. So I'll start out with you, Mr. Wilfredo Ortiz. Can you give us an overview? First of all, let me have open remarks from our chair of our facilities committee, Ms. Jeannie Weeklam, followed by opening remarks and to get us started in our conversation by our assistant superintendent, Mr. Wilfredo Ortiz. Thank you in that order.
Thank you,
Jeannie,
Gerald.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here today to go over what's going on with opening existing facilities once the redistricting happens in order to accommodate the children of Trenton. And maybe speak a little bit about the renaming that's currently underway that will take place in July. And I look forward to any questions anybody may have at this time.
Thank you, Jeannie. Mr. Wilfredo Ortiz, can you lead us in our initial conversation along with
Certainly, Mr. Trugard. So as you know, we've been working on a redistricting plan for the last couple of years. We're looking to, because as we all know, the community is growing. We have more and more students. We've had schools that have been closed, and we're in need of additional space. As a result of that, we went through a demographic study, which is what happened as a result of that. We have to redistrict schools. As you know, we're going to go K-3, intermediate schools, which will be 4, 5, and 6. And our middle schools will have 3 now, which will be grades 7 and 8. So this requires a lot of work that's taking place, because as a result of the redistricting, to accommodate all the new students that we're receiving into the district, to be able to put programs like gifted and talented and bilingual and special ed in most of our schools so that our parents don't have to go all over the city to get services, the board voted, as you well know, to move forward with the plan. As a result of that plan, we opened up new schools. We opened up Jefferson. We opened up Robeson. We opened up Holland School, the West Campus on State Street, as you know, and Stokes Elementary and Cadwalder schools. So these schools are now open and they will be receiving students in these schools. Mr. Mosley, our Director of Facilities, has been working very closely to make sure that the facilities are up to par so that we can have academic programs in those schools.
Yeah, I recognize the plan is 12 schools serving K-3, as you mentioned, and 6 schools serving 4-6 and 3 schools serving 7-8. Our existing facilities around 9th grade academy, of course, will stay in place along with our prestigious high school, $150 million+ high school, which we're so proud of, will maintain its, consistent configuration in terms of its grade span.
But as you know, Mr. Trueheart, both of those schools, the 9th grade academy, even though they're not being reconfigured in any way, it'll still be the 9th grade academy. Mr. Mosley might be able to speak a little bit about the amount of work that went into that building, because we put additional classrooms because of the fact that our population is growing. And the same thing at Trenton Central High School, a lot of money went into what we call the boiler room. And that's all been renovated and it's classrooms. And Mr. Mosley might be able to give us more information about how that's looking and where we are with that, because we're planning to receive even more students.
Mr. Mosley.
Yes, good evening. And certainly thank
Good
you for
evening.
having me. Definitely excited to be here. As both board member Weekly, yourself and Mr. Ortiz has alluded to, we have a lot of exciting things going on, especially with the opening of reopening of 5 of our existing school facilities. And needless to say, the Buildings and Grounds Department once again has its hands full with bringing these buildings back online and making sure that they're safe and secure and ready to accommodate our students and staff for the 22-23 school year. I kind of keep a smile on my face now. And I mean, you go basically from a pandemic that's starting to now decrease and then right into a redistricting plan. So to say the least, we've been moving and it's a constant go over here on this side. So allow me to just kind of touch base on where we are, you know, and where things are going with the redistricting and the reopening of these schools. So without going in any particular order, I'll start with the Robinson School. Now, the Robinson School is certainly part of the existing Hedgepeth Williams School, which is an active school currently. So as far as a lot of the work that has to be done, because it's currently open and it's already getting maintained and the routine maintenance is ongoing, there's not a lot of work that actually needs to occur in the building. However, because it is going from a current 6 to 8 program and now going to a K-3, there are some furniture needs that need to be addressed, which we're meeting with various furniture companies and looking at replacing furniture so that we can accommodate the younger students. In addition to that, there's still some maintenance and required maintenance items that we have to do at the building. There's some roof work that needs to occur at the building. And we did some flooring works and things. And as you know, we have a big effort going on across the district with our AC efforts to build up our AC in all of our schools eventually. So we are looking to do some upgrades to the AC units that's currently there. But in addition to that, for those classrooms that don't have air conditioning units, we're looking to install air conditioning in those as well. Next up, I'll talk about the Cadwalder School, which was just a year ago, the former Trenton Restorative Academy. So again, we have a major conversion going on from what was a former elementary school converted to a high school to accommodate high school students, and now going back into an elementary or K-3 program. So there are some challenges with having to basically empty the school out in its entirety because all the furniture basically has, you know, been set up to accommodate a larger, or I should say our older students. In addition to that, Cadwalder has had some issues in the past, but the good thing is that prior to the TRA program or Trenton Restorative Academy moving out of the building, we did do a number of renovations to the facility, including new windows, We've upgraded the flooring system, some of the interior wall systems. Building was repainted in its entirety. We've added additional TCUs, the temporary classroom units outside to accommodate additional students at the site. We are, like I mentioned too, the roofing system is now looking at to be replaced in its entirety. We have some upgrades to the technology and the heating system. We've already added window air conditioning units throughout the entire building. So the building certainly needs some tender loving care, sitting dormant for a period of time, but we have been maintaining it at a low standard, but not to the point where we just let the building go in its entirety. So we are moving forward with that. We currently have a head custodian that's going to be occupying the facility and bringing it back up to its standards of cleaning so that we are ready to take on students, for the July 1 new school year. Let's talk about Stokes. So the Stokes was actually, last time it was utilized, it was an early childhood facility. So again, we're talking about a transformation and a conversion of a student population. A lot of the urinals and some of the bathroom facilities, including the stalls, were lowered to accommodate the early childhood kids. So we have to go back in. We're going to change out some of the urinals or toilets in the restroom facilities. We're going to go in and make sure that it accommodates a larger student. Now, what we have been doing, and even some of our current elementary schools, is that we've been putting in a standard toilet. And what we're finding is that a lot of our parents can appreciate it as well, because putting in the smaller toilets in some of our K programs in our first grades is all well and good for those students and certainly helps them out in the beginning. But when they go home, they're actually using a standard toilet. So we've decided to try to put a much larger toilet in some of these facilities, and certainly we're going to ask the staff to work with the students and putting in stepping stools where needed in some cases. In addition to that, the furniture is, we're putting all new furniture in the Stokes School. We have some required maintenance items that are going to be addressed. The entire gym floor is going to be refinished. We're going to put in some new bleachers, lighting upgrades in the facility. So there's a number of projects that's underway that we're looking to, bring the facility up and make it more usable and certainly user-friendly. In addition to, like I said, I've alluded to the air conditioning. We've actually completed 50% of the building already with air conditioning. We're now up to the second floor, which would be the remaining 50. Once we finish up with the electrical upgrades that's required, we'll then install the remaining units in that facility as well. So there's, again, ongoing maintenance constantly in the building. We do have custodial staff that's been in the building. There was a former program that I believe Mr. Grant had in the program about a year or so ago. So it was a utilized space during the actual COVID pandemic to assist some of the parents who were working and were able to send some of their kids. I think about 40 kids were accommodated with the program. So the building's never really been dormant per se, but it's not been used to its 100% capacity at the moment. Excuse me. Let's talk about Jefferson School. Now, Jefferson School, despite it being shut down for about a 3-year period or so, we did some major renovations at Jefferson. I think the district put somewhere in the range of, I think was $4 to $5 million in making sure what used to be that old 70s style open space design. And we actually put physical walls and created classrooms in each of on the 3rd floor level there. So the building does have full classrooms. It has a full rooftop HVAC unit, which accommodates the air conditioning and heating throughout the entire building. Certainly a good thing. We did some lighting upgrades in the building. So the building's structurally sound and in shape. We recently put a new roofing system on the building. So there's although there's some routine and required maintenance items that need to occur, overall, the Jefferson School is going to be in pretty decent shape. And certainly we look forward to bringing that back online, considering some of the renovations and things that we put into the building itself. let's talk about.
You know what? Hey, Dwayne, just before you, I know you're going through the schools. You're doing an excellent job. I think.
Okay.
I think as a parent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't have my chat room discussion on. So
No, you're good. My appreciation as a parent, I appreciate as a parent of the high school. Appreciate all the work that's happening over at the high school and all the schools in particular. I did get a chance to see. I haven't been inside yet, but I did. The new building over at the high school looks fantastic. I mean, it's a fabulous looking building. I know it's got some great interior. Would love to get a chance to get over there and get in there and see that. But some of the parents in previous broadcasts in the chat in terms of our Facebook Live have shared that, this is the first time they're hearing about the redistricting. It wasn't shared with the community. And so what I did was immediately sent them a link to our website and a link to the replays of the superintendent's town halls that he had in various schools across our district. And then, of course, this is just one of those vehicles, our radio TV broadcast, which we've been on and talked about redistricting before. This is not the first time that we've had this opportunity to share with our community. But a question I have is really centered around, as a parent, why was this? I think the question is for Wilfredo, and we can get back into going through the facilities, Mr. Mosley. Why was this redistricting plan started? And why am I changing schools? Why do I have to change my school? And why did you choose K3, 4, 6, 7, 8? Why didn't you keep it K5, 6, 8, 9, 12? What's all these changes all about?
Well, we have had these discussions before, and I'm sorry for my voice, but I'll do the best that I can on this show. So what has happened is we have an influx of students coming into the district, and our classrooms are overcrowded. Currently, we're doing the best that we can to maintain the numbers that are required by state law. For us, is 21 students in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third, and then 23 in fourth and fifth. And unfortunately, because I shouldn't say unfortunate, I should say fortunately, because we're very fortunate to have families coming in to live into Trenton, and that we're able to educate them. So we had to look at where are the families moving. A majority of our families, a big influx that are coming into the South wards, and there is no space in the South ward for schools. Right now, the schools in the South ward are small schools and they're packed. In order to provide programs so that parents don't have to go all over the city to get programs, let me give you an example. Right now, let's even Kilmer school, kindergarten is up to 25 kids. So if you bought a house in the Kilmer attendance area, in the west area right there for Kilmer, it would be very difficult for your child to go to that school in kindergarten. I would have to transfer them over to another school because there is no space. So the intent was to look at where the families are and then do a redistricting, which a professional demographer came in under Mr. Lee, a former superintendent, and started that process. And so what we have to do is we have to shift families into the West Ward, because in the West Ward, there aren't that many students. A lot of those schools, like Stokes, was closed because you didn't need it. There was no kids to fill Stokes. So was Cadwalder. There were no families to fill those schools. So now in order to fill those schools, you have to shift boundaries. And so that we would have to move kids. The other thing is creating a school that's K-3. It would allow for academic focus in those primary grades so that we can hopefully, our intent is to make sure that we have a strong curriculum. We have a new chief academic officer, Ms. Joanne Sung, and working really hard to get the curriculum up and running so that we can focus on those early grades, literacy and mathematics. Research shows that if we can focus in the early grades, hopefully our students will be able to be at grade level by the time they finish third grade. So that was kind of the shift. We are also able to put programs in some of these schools. For example, a school like Franklin and Washington, those are schools with a heavy population of Hispanic families that have just moved in, but those parents cannot go to school there because they don't have a bilingual program. So what we have to do is we have to bus them to Monument or wherever we have programs. The same thing with special ed. Our special ed programs are concentrated in certain areas of the district, and so we're busing kids. So the intent was to put programs closer to the families that they serve and to make neighborhood schools. Now, our focus was on K-3 so that the K-3 families could walk to school, right? We want them to be able to get to school and walk. 4, 5, and 6, we have less schools in 4, 5, and 6 in the intermediate grades. So we're looking to see how we support those families with transportation. That's something that we have on the docket that we're looking at. We have a professional person coming in to look at how do we that whole busing piece under Jane Howard. So we are looking to support our families there as well. So that was what was happening, and that's why the redistricting.
Thank you. I think that was a good to share that. I know we're focused on facilities tonight and redistricting, but I think it's important for folks and families to understand that this was not done in a vacuum. This was done over a series of multiple years, and we actually, as a board, decided not to redistrict in the year that was recommended, but we decided as a team, both the district administrators and the board, and for that matter, the community had a weigh in, to wait a year so we could really plan and do this the right way and support our families. And I think that decision has weight in gold, and it's really panned out for us as we can prepare better for not only in our area of facilities, right? But as you mentioned, Mr. Ortiz, in the area of our instructional programs focused on our lower grades, and of course, not discounting our upper grades or intermediate or middle or high schools, but really getting those young folks engaged in the curriculum and in education. Mr. Mosley, I think you were going on to another school talking about the renovations, and I wanted you to continue in that view. I think it's important for us to understand the great work that you're doing in our schools along, of course, under the leadership of Jane Howard, our school business administrator board secretary. I want to thank her for offering an opportunity for you to come and to share with us tonight. Mr. Mosley?
Certainly. I believe I had left off with the Jefferson School. We were talking about some of the roof work that needed to be done or was completed, excuse me. And as you know, they share a site with the Kilmer School. So one of the concerns that we have with the Jefferson School is the playground and the limited space that they have surrounding the school. Although Cadwalder Park is just across the Stuyvesant Avenue, but as you know, that is a busy street, so it does require monitoring for our kids to be able to go across the street. Unfortunately, previous history with the whole Jefferson Cadwalder, the school was just to kind of jump back. Jefferson was supposed to be demolished, and that was actually the area where the playground was going to go. But we've since acquired the actual lot across the street from the Jefferson site. And I'm looking forward to working with the new principal at Jefferson for the possibility of actually maybe creating a play space directly across the street. And Whittlesey is certainly a lot less busy of a throughway that would allow the students to be able to cross and utilize possibly that as a area, in addition to some additional parking that might be needed as well. So Jefferson is a special site, although it does share the site with the Kilmer facility itself. Let's get to some of the good things. I know everybody's curious and wants to know about the Holland School reopening and the fact that it was formerly the old Trenton High West facility. So again, the transition back to a middle school and some of the work that needs to occur in the building is significant. In fact, the building's probably been the longest that's been dormant thus far. And certainly leaving a building dormant is not ideal for any facilities manager or anyone dealing with facilities as a whole, because certainly, buildings begin to decay after a while if they're not fully maintained. Although we have done some minor maintenance and upkeep of the building and making sure that, the boilers are running on a low flame so that none of the pipes are freezing or anything like that. But we haven't had a full custodial staff in there to do a full cleaning of the facility. And we check on the building periodically, but unfortunately, as I made mention to, some of the flooring systems were damaged as a result of steam leaks that occurred from the basement boiler area. There was some damages to some of the lighting fixtures and things of that nature. So we certainly got our work cut out for the building. We currently have, various staff in there. We have plumbers that are set up in there. We have our electricians, our masons, and these folks are doing a fabulous job with the maintenance efforts of bringing the building back to life. We're looking forward to having public walkthroughs and when the superintendent sets it up, certainly, so that everybody gets to see the building again in its glory and certainly not in current condition.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Dwayne. Hey, Jeannie,
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be able to get, I know I do. And I'm sure families are just itching to get into those schools, to see those schools prior to opening. I know that's a conversation that we've had with the superintendent, and I know that's something that we're going to be doing. I'm not going to talk about timeframes at this point. I know we want to make sure that we speak clearly about the timeframes when they are going to occur. The superintendent share that with us. But that's going to be an awesome opportunity for parents to view our facilities prior to even coming to the school. They know they're going to go to Cal Water, they're going to go to Stokes, or they're going to go over to West, which was formerly Ninth Grade Academy as well. That they had the opportunity prior to the school opening in September to do a walkthrough and get comfortable with the building. And of course, I'm sure that some of the staff members will be there as well to greet them, along with the principal and so forth and so on. So that's going to be a great opportunity.
Definitely.
And I think, students haven't been notified of where they're going yet, correct?
Yes, they have.
They have?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Ginny, letters were going out all of last week, and some of them, the last few letters have gone out this week. So we are informing parents already because we want them to know where they're scheduled to be for next year. And parents have been calling, they've gone up to the school. So one of the good things that has happened is we send letters to parents based on their current address, whatever address they have in Power School. As you know, our families move a lot and they don't always update the addresses. So now parents are coming in and updating addresses to make sure they have the right address because they may be a different school. So that's happening. We also have an exemption letter that we put together because there may be some special circumstances where a family might want to stay at a particular school, and that school might be closer than the school that they were assigned to. So we're looking at all of those things in order to make some decisions to support families. This was our first letter that went out. So now we're getting some feedback. So now that we get the feedback, we're seeing where are the issues, what are some of the kinks that exist that we can fix. And then we're going to send another letter out to the families in a late May, and then their final letter will go out in the end of the year. So there are some tweaks that we're making, but yes, they've been informed. All the letters have gone out to our families.
And it is the goal to keep them as close as home as possible? Yes,
absolutely. So when you do the redistricting, you got to take chunks of attendance boundaries from one school, right, and move them. But so we're looking at that very carefully because especially for K3, 4, 5, and 6, it's just 6 schools, and we're going to be able to look at busing, right, because that's a little different. But K3s, we want them to be able to get to the school, to go to the school that's closest to them. So that's our primary goal. Okay, and parents know, and they've been calling me. I've been working with them. We got a letter. If a parent there receives a letter and they have an issue, it tells them what to do. They've been able to reach out to me, and I get back to them within 24 hours. I let them know, we hear your complaint, we hear what you're requesting, and then we're going to get together and make some decisions. So this is phase 1 of the redistricting for the students. Okay, phase 2 will take place in May. We have, considering that we sent over 8,000 letters out, the number of parents that have called that it might have some concerns is minimal. And I also want to say that the parents have been absolutely incredibly gracious when they call. I don't have angry parents. What they're saying is, is there a possibility that my child could stay here because I'm like closer than the school that has been assigned to me? So we will take all that into consideration. But they've been absolutely gracious, and I want to thank the public, our community, that we hear you, and we're going to do everything to make this as easy and as possible for you to go to the school that's closest to your home.
Okay.
Mr. Mosley?
Yes. So I jumped off on the wrong foot, certainly talking about Holland and not bringing it out in a negative light, because by no means do I want folks to think that the building is such disarray that we're not going to have the building up and running. Although, yes.
Hey, you better keep Junior 3 up and running, man. Junior
Yeah,
trade, we call that Junior trade. Come on now, that's homeboys.
Listen, I like my job, and it's not an option. And
No.
certainly the superintendent and Ms. Howard have been, on a constant monitoring of where we are with progressing through the building, and they too are anxious to get into the building and physically walk through, and certainly bring the public and staff and even students who might want to see the building to come in. I mean, we prior to, and then let me just jump back, while the high school was in the facility, we did some major renovations to the facility.
Yes,
I don't know
I
if
was
folks
there.
remember.
Yes, I was there.
Before Trenton High was demoed, we were able to salvage the auditorium chairs that we put in. Everybody remembered the brand new chairs in the auditorium?
That auditorium west is phenomenal. I was in there for a couple programs. It's a great auditorium. It's well maintained. The
Trenton High
seats are great.
went into West, yes. So we were able to salvage those and put them into West. We redid the entire gym floor. Has the Trenton Central High School logo and the tornado in the center of it. I'm not sure how that's going to work with the Holland School, but certainly we'll work that out in the end. But again, brand new gym floor in the facility. We redid the cafeteria.
Hey, once a tornado, always a tornado. Come on now.
So they're young tornadoes, so they get to grow up on the logo before they actually start to play on the big logo and at the new high school.
Maybe we could call them the storm, right? What's bigger, a tornado, a storm, or a hurricane? I don't know. I'm sorry. Continue.
I mean, you hold over, Fred. You starting something now. You want the house? You got the house.
No. Go ahead, Dwayne. I'm sorry.
But we are doing upgrades to the building. New flooring systems. We are doing some interior, the lighting upgrades to both the classrooms as well as the corridors. Exterior of the building. Now, folks ride by the building, and I know our board president, Ms. Lane, has alluded to the fountain. I have been meeting with some plumbers and all, and trying to see what we could do to try to bring the fountain back to life. It's a little tough right now, but at the very least, there was, in our last facilities meeting, there was discussions about making the fountain an actual garden, which would be nice, that if we can go with a garden. In addition to that, we're looking to add a new marquee out there as we have at the high school and ninth grade academy. We're doing a complete renovation and restoration of the clock tower. So we're going to bring the clock tower back to life. We're going to get the clock system back working so that you can actually be able to ride by and see the time and see it in its full operation with some, we redid all the windows in the building. But now former West, Holland, and I have to get used to referring to it again as the Holland School. It's one of our two schools in the district that did not have a HVAC system that was a forced air system, where there was either a rooftop unit or there were air conditioning systems in every classroom. So that's one of the things that we are doing. We're putting air conditioning in the entire building. Right now, we have air conditions in about 75% of the windows. Some of them were a little bit smaller than others, so we had to reorder some things. So we're looking to bring the building up with air conditioning so we can make the kids comfortable, make our staff comfortable in the building itself. So there's a lot of great things that's happening. One of the key things that we talked about offline prior to coming on here was the pool that's at Holland School. Most folks fail to realize that Holland does have a full pool in it. Now the pool, unlike anything in the building, we did in fact try to maintain the pool while it was still running. Now, I had alluded to earlier some of the steam concerns in the building. So there was some damage to some of the walls. However, the pool was still fully functional. We're in the process now of looking at the recommendation of our athletic director, Ms. Grady, of draining the pool in its entirety, going in and doing a full cleaning of the tile of the pool itself, and then certainly filling the pool back up and bringing it back up to its correct level. So Again, there's a number of things that's happening. Time certainly is not on our side. I hate to use the term on our side, but again, we have our staff in the building. We're working diligently to make sure that we can get this building up and running, and make sure that, we're ready to go for September. I kind of alluded to a couple of things that, I were talking about just the redistricting, but prior to, we had talked about some of the renovation efforts that are occurring throughout the district. Now, certainly the 5 schools coming online is one thing, but we got 20 other schools that are functioning and still part of our, our district and has to be maintained. You made mention to the 9th grade academy and the high school and the new additions. The districts, had invested a very extensive amount of money into put new additions on the 11 classroom addition for the Trenton 9th grade academy and a 10 classroom addition in the former Boiler House facility, which is directly parallel or adjacent, however you want to look at the site, to the actual new school facility. Both of those projects have been completed in their entirety. The students and staff are actually occupying these facilities. The district, and thank you to both the board, the superintendent and Ms. Howard for not, I'm not going to say they didn't spare any expense, but they made sure that the facility was up to par and was definitely in line with what was provided in the high school as a whole. So the staff is pleased, the students are occupying the building, they're pleased, and I'm happy that we were able to perform it in-house and not have to depend on the state to build it for us. So that was something exciting that definitely that the district took on. So
and I have to congratulate you, Mr. Mosley, because you actually, we didn't think you would be able to do that in the amount of time that it was done. I mean, it went down to the wire, but it was just an incredible how you guys were able to finish those 2 facilities. So congratulations to you and your staff for that.
Certainly appreciate that.
I mean, I see students coming out of that building now. I go and I pick up my son at the high school, and sometimes it's right towards the end of the day, and kids are just coming out of that building. It's so great to see the kids just flowing out like a college campus.
Exactly.
They're coming out of that building at the end of the day, and they're going there to either their sports programs or after school program, or going home to study, or going just hanging out and enjoying camaraderie with their other fellow students and communicating. And it's a great environment right there with that new facility. Thank you, Mr. Mosley.
Not a problem.
Just one thing, Mr. Mosley, that because this is about facilities. We spoke about the work that was done with the reconfiguration, but all our schools are looking to get air conditioning, a lot, and new windows. You want to talk a little bit about that, because it's not just you doing a tremendous amount of work over at Robbins School, flooring, windows. So maybe it's not just the 5 buildings, it's the entire district. You want to touch base on that a little bit?
Certainly. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Just 1 second. We got a commercial break we got to go to right now. We got some important announcements we want to make. Mr. Nice Crease, amen. You want to share some announcements with our audience?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Then we'll segue right to you, Mr. Mosley.
Parents, community, we have wonderful engagement events coming up. Saturday, March 19th, we are having a Parent Connect Summit, where parents will have the opportunity to participate in a variety of workshops. Social emotional learning is being provided, mindfulness techniques, world language, English language learner programs, world language, and also community organizations will be a part of the event. Giveaways, breakfast, lunch, childcare will be provided. If you're interested in joining, volunteering, or participating, I will drop the registration link in the Facebook chat. Also, we are looking for volunteers because we've been preparing some care packages for every family that comes through the door, because we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we want to provide a token of appreciation for those who attend the event. So again, please join us. And this is a first of a 3-part series. The second event is April 2nd, Saturday, April 2nd, and lastly, Saturday, May 14th. So if you can't make it March 19th, come join us either April 2nd or May 14th.
And that time again, that's so very important. What's that time again?
The time is from 8:30 to 1 p.m. at Trenton Central High School. Although we're targeting our elementary school parents, this event is for any parent, because we also have the Henry J. Austin ban. So if your child needs a certain immunization or COVID-19 vaccine, please come take advantage. This information may help a niece or a cousin or a relative, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna give away raffles and other prizes. And if you know, you can volunteer. You can help register families, welcome them to the event, and the more the merrier.
Right, that's great. We also have on April 30th, the Legacy of Black Wall Street that's coming up at our high school, our Black Wealth Summit, closing the racial wealth gap. Presentations including the legacy of Black Wall Street, recognizing racial disparities and generational curses, establishing Black prosperity, Black Renaissance, Youth Vision Board Party, Buy Black Your Community Marketplace, sponsored by Event Rooster, Wells Fargo, of course, Trenton Public Schools, Big Easy, Operation Rebuild Trenton, Asala, and also Black Image Connect Positive Black Images is also one of the sponsors, and that's April 30th at the high school from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our 400 Chambers Street, Trenton Central High School main campus. So I wanted to share that with you. It's sponsored by and organized by the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County, Operation Rebuild Trenton, as well as the Trenton branch of the NAACP. So again, presenting the Legacy of Black Wall Street, April 30th, 2022. That's a Saturday at the high school, beginning at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I wanted to share that announcement as well. And there's other great works that we're doing in our community that we're going to be sharing on our broadcast as we continue to broadcast to you on TV and on radio. Thank you so much, Denise. Right back at you, Mr. Dwayne Mosley. The question from Mr. Ortiz.
So as Mr. Ortiz had made mention to prior to the break, the district has a number of projects that's underway. I mean, from capital projects that we have going on. He made mention to the Robbins School. Robbins was the second of the two schools that I had made mention when I was referencing the Holland Middle School with the air conditioning system. So the district is now in the process. We went out to bid. We expect the bids to come in on the 22nd. We had to push the bid back because there were some addendums that needed to be added. It's a phasing project over the course of the next year, but we are looking to put a full rooftop unit system onto the Robbins School, which will make the building a fully functional heating and ventilated school. So the air conditioning will be out throughout the entire facility, cafeteria, auditorium, all classrooms, corridors, things of that nature. So certainly that's a major project, multi-million-dollar project for that matter. In addition to that, we are adding new windows to the facility, upgrading to the lighting in the building. And this is one of our certainly older schools, and it sits right in the heart of a community. So it makes it difficult for us to do any type of extensions or expansions to the school. But we are doing what we have to do to make sure that we can keep the building up to its 21st century standards that we're carrying out in multiple facilities around the district. I mean, in addition to that, we're putting all new windows in the Dunn School, over 1,000 windows at the existing Dunn School. That school will receive all new window systems in the entire school. Again, air conditioning, we're looking to put air conditioned units in the building. That's a major task, certainly to try to accomplish over the course of the summer, but with the assistance of possibly some outside contractors, in addition to our in-house staff, we are looking to address that as well. I mean, I can go on. We have, at least, I think 7 schools that we're looking to replace the roof on. And thank you to the city of Trenton, certainly through the capital improvement budget, where the city did give us $1.1 million to do some roofing projects. Right now, the Gregory and the Parker School bids just recently came in. We're looking to award those and hopefully start up and issue a notice to proceed for those projects. I would love to start prior to school ending. Again, I have to work with the principals to see how we can maneuver through the building when it's occupied facilities, which we put new roofing systems on occupied buildings previously. The Mott School, Dunn School, the 9th grade academy, all are looking to do some roofing projects. And I know that was a major concern with some of our teaching staff and others who've seen some stained stained ceiling tiles in certain areas throughout the building, and they brought it to our attention in previous meetings. So the opportunity to be able to replace some of these roofing systems that are older and certainly outdated and beyond their useful life is exciting as far as a facility standpoint.
Dwayne, one thing, and to give people scale, right, in terms of the money that's invested, what is our overall M1? I want to use that term. What is our overall, I'm talking about M1, M2, what is our overall maintenance budget for our district?
Well, Ms. Howard might jump on my back here, but I'll tell you what, no, I'm just budgetary wise, I think we're in the 30 million range.
Okay.
But I mean,
Not gonna hold you to it. It's an estimate.
We are getting help again. Like I mentioned the capital improvement budget that we get monies from the Board of School Estimates through ESSER 1 and 2. We've received a lot of money from the ESSER grant that's going to allow us to do a lot of these things. This is not a typical budget. I'm naming a number of projects that certainly would not by no means be on our general budget on a year-to-year basis. I wish I had a district that had money like that, but
it's important to folks to know that the extra money you're talking about is the money, the COVID money that the federal government gave to schools to improve facilities, specifically around COVID and the pandemic. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're improving the schools' requirements in terms of air quality, and in terms of safety and security of our staff and our students in our buildings. So I think that's where the bulk of that money is going. Not the bulk of, in terms of bulk of it for facilities. There's a bunch of money allocated, of course, to academic and instructional space in terms of academics, but there is a portion also for facilities upgrades.
Yes, facilities upgrades, equipment upgrades for custodial equipment for cleaning purposes. The monies was allocated for maintaining and upgrading some of our existing HVAC systems, the exhaust systems, some of our window unit ventilators, things of that nature. So there's a number of projects that's going on in the district beyond that of the reopening of the school. So, and that's not even getting to just the regular routine and work orders and things that come in on a daily basis in a number of our schools. So certainly we're excited here, overwhelmed, but excited, and certainly look forward to continuing to do what we have to do to bring these things to light.
Just to give folks an idea of the dollar values, and Jeannie, I'd like to segue after this into our high school football field that we're going to be putting in place through the capital projects budget. CARES Act 1, which is the ESSER 1, the first allotment of money, came in around about $5 million. The second allotment of money that we received on the CARES Act, which is called ESSER 2, they named them ESSER 2, was about $20.9 million. And under the ESSER 3, it came into around $45.9 million. So that's the type of money that we're getting from the federal government to provide not only emergency relief, not only learning loss, mental health, but also summer work, learning loss, beyond the school day, mental health, summer educators in terms of professional development, and of course, work in our facilities. I believe we carved out about 29 million or so for facilities. Don't quote me now. I'm just remembering that out of my recall.
That's
about
correct.
29 million of it was for target to improvement of facilities.
Exactly.
What do you think about that football field, Jeannie?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna start on it soon, and it's gonna happen this summer, and it'll be hopefully ready to go in the fall. And and then the high school will be complete. A shiny, brand new facility.
So am I hearing to the grapevine, maybe lights, Dwayne?
Lights as well. Yes, we are looking at lights as well. We're trying to budget it, and certainly I'm not going to put myself out there to say that it's stamped and approved, but certainly the committee had requested for me to look into the cost to add lighting to the field.
I think that was you, Jeannie.
Yes, it was.
So right now, I mean, as we made mention to, the field has been approved. An actual purchase order has been issued to the contractor. We're looking to issue the notice to proceed for the end of this month with a startup of April 1st. There are some things that have to be worked out with the athletic because it is track season that's going to be underway, but it might push back a couple of weeks. But just having general conversations with the contractor, it's about a 90-day period for the actual construction duration. So we're somewhere in the 1st of August, mid-August at worst. But yes, we're looking to have this field completed. And if we can get this lighting package on board, then, you know, we'll see how that goes as well. But the field itself, that one's locked and loaded and ready to start up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Lawrence has a turf field. Hopewell Valley has a turf
They all
field.
have them.
Ewing has a turf. I believe Ewing has a turf field now. West Windsor has a turf. Everybody's got turf fields. And guess what now?
With lights, with lights.
With light. Guess what? Trenton Tornadoes will have a turf field with lights. We're gonna call that forth right now. Jeannie said it. It's going to happen. The board approved it, and we're going to move forward with full-fledged faith that Mr. Mosley, with all support you're going to have, are going to be able to get that work done.
Certainly appreciate it.
Mr. Ortiz.
And the last thing that we should just reflect a little bit on is technology, because Mr. Mosley didn't mention that, but we're doing walkthroughs through all these buildings with our technology department to make sure that everything is up to the latest technology in all these buildings. So that's an added bonus that we that'll be throughout all our buildings. But we're looking at the whiteboards. We're looking at all of that stuff, new Chromebooks, additional Chromebooks, all the latest resources, so that these schools are ready to go in September.
Excellent.
So Denise, how you doing? Are we good with time? Or are we just about?
We're just
Yeah,
about
we're done.
done, and
Yeah,
I
we
just
are.
want to recognize the greatness and hard work that's happening with the facilities group and all the hard work that Jeannie Weeklam has put it in together as the chair of the facilities committee. We applaud you for all your hard work, and we know it's not going to be an easy task, but you're getting it done. So kudos and congratulations to the progress that you've made so far and where that's going to go and lead. But yeah, I'm excited for March 19th. Parents, please come out to the Parent Connect Summit. You're needed, and we would love to have you there. I can definitely commit that you will have a great time and you will leave with something, whether it's learning something new or something tangible in your hands. You're going to walk away having something. So thank you.
And that's a great segue into Jeannie's announcement that we did a press release on our renaming of our schools, Wilson and Columbus School. We have a forum that's coming up at 6 p.m. on the 14th, which is Monday.
March 14th.
Monday,
Right.
right, Jeannie? That's
Yes.
a great opportunity.
But I just want to say that everything, the announcement went out to all the local papers, and it's posted on the website. The forums that, if people want to make suggestions, are on the school's website. There's an online version and there's a PDF version. And just print it out, and the mailing instructions are on there. You don't have to wait until the meeting on the 14th to submit your suggestion. The instructions are clearly on the form of the criteria to go by. And because I've seen people have suggested names and that, and it's like, put it on a form and send it in. Everything will be looked at, and we're just looking for the community's input.
I mean,
as to
we're
what to,
encouraging, right? You mentioned the community, Jeannie.
Yeah.
Just encouraging community groups to come together in committees and organize themselves around this work that we're requesting in terms of renaming. I would encourage folks to come together with different various community organizations and submit a name together. Come together and talk about the renaming of Columbus or Wilson, or submit a name for one or for both. But come together as a community of different organizations and get together and communicate. I think that's one of the things that we're going to be sharing on the 14th out to the community. Listen, get together, submit the names. You have until the 24th, I believe. It's on
the 24th of March
schedule.
is the deadline
24th of
for them
March.
to be received.
So we want you to get started right away. The forum is more of an informational session and encouragement for
Yeah.
all of our organizations to come together and to get that work done for us.
Yeah.
For us, meaning us, all of us, right? All
Right,
of us.
correct.
So,
All right.
all right, Denise Crease, are you coming back with us?
I think we're done.
I'm back.
Hey, Denise, hi, our co-host Denise is back. Well, we want to thank everyone for being a part of our broadcast today, and I give our closing remarks to our co-host Denise Crease. Go ahead, Denise.
All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being present in the moment. We appreciate all the hard work that our parents are doing with their children at home. We appreciate all the work that's being done on a district level, on a school level, from administrative on down to custodians to our food service workers. We see you. We appreciate the work that you're doing. It takes a village to raise a child. So we're going to continue to communicate every week so that if you have something that you want to share, this is part of our, your show as well. So if you have a community update, a school update, and you want us to announce that, please email me. I will drop my email in the chat. It's decrease, KREISS at trenton.k12.nj.us. Once again, decrease, DKREISS at trenton.k12.nj.us. Have a wonderful evening and a great night.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Superintendent James Earl. Thank you, Eddie Daniels Lane. And thank you, Jane Howard, for having us and allowing Mr. Mosley to come up and be a part of us. God bless you. I just want to get that in, Denise. Thanks.